Hey, think about your day so far. The power for your alarm clock, the fuel in the bus you took, even the phone in your hand. They all share this hidden connection. And that connection is carbon. It's an element that's so woven into our modern lives, we barely even notice it. So in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and make it visible. So let's just start with a simple question. Think about your car, the electricity powering your home, and pretty much everything you buy. What do they all have in common? Now, the answer isn't just technology or money. No, it's something way more fundamental, an element that's basically powering our entire world. You guessed it, that common thread is carbon. And with almost every single thing we do, we leave behind this little invisible carbon trail. So for this first section, let's follow that trail and see where it leads. Okay, so at the very heart of our carbon trail is one simple action: burning fuel. I mean, whether it's the gasoline in our cars, the coal that generates our electricity, or the natural gas that powers factories, releasing the energy from these fuels also releases carbon. These things are the massive engines of our modern world, and they're the main source of that trail.
And, those big sources connect directly to our small everyday habits. That morning commute? Yep, that's burning fuel. Charging your laptop? That creates electricity demand. Even the packaging from your lunch contributes, because making and transporting literally everything takes energy.
So all of this activity, the driving, the buying, just the living, it all adds up. And that total amount actually has a name. It's your carbon footprint. It's basically the measurement of your personal impact on the planet. A good way to think of it is like a personal ledger. Every single action that requires energy adds a little bit of carbon to your total for the day. From the electricity for your morning coffee to watching TV late at night, it all gets added to this personal tally. And guess what? Every single one of us has one. Now here's the crucial part. Not all footprints are the same size. A lifestyle that relies a lot on, say, air travel and driving is going to create a much larger footprint than one that's built around biking and public transit. It's a direct reflection of how much energy we use. So put simply, our choices really do shape the size of our impact. So you might be thinking, one person's footprint. It seems so small, right? But what happens when you multiply that by billions of people? Why does this invisible trail even matter on a global scale? Well, this is where a personal footprint becomes a massive collective problem. The whole issue really comes down to a question of balance. When we release way too much carbon into the atmosphere, it starts to disrupt the Earth's natural systems. And right now, that balance is, well, it's way off. It's a really clear chain reaction. See, all that excess carbon in the atmosphere acts like a giant blanket, trapping heat and causing the whole planet to warm up. This warming doesn't just mean nicer summers. No way. It means more extreme and unpredictable weather, which in turn really damages our ecosystems. It's like a domino effect that starts with all that extra carbon. But hold on, this isn't just about our personal choices. To really get the full picture, we have to look at the bigger players. Companies and entire industries have carbon footprints too, and they are often absolutely massive in scale. Companies create carbon in a few major ways. First, their factories consume huge amounts of energy. Then, their supply chains, we're talking planes, ships, and trucks moving goods all over the world, create emissions. Even the products themselves have a footprint, from the moment they're made to the moment they're thrown away. It's a gigantic piece of the global carbon puzzle. Ultimately, it all boils down to a pretty simple fact. Both people and companies create carbon. Look, this isn't about pointing fingers. It's about recognizing that we're all part of a shared system. Our consumption drives their production, and their production enables our consumption. It's a shared reality. So if this is a shared reality, what in the world can we do about it? This brings us to the most important part of our explainer, the solutions. And the good news is there are clear, actionable steps that we can all take to shrink that global footprint. On a personal level, the solutions are actually surprisingly practical. Every choice to walk instead of drive, to turn off a light you're not using, or to recycle that container, it all makes a real measurable difference. Our power isn't just in making big gestures, but in the dozens of small, conscious decisions we make every single day. And on the other side of the coin, companies have a parallel set of actions they can take. They can switch to cleaner energy sources like solar or wind. They can make their factories more efficient so they use less power, and they can actively work to reduce their transport emissions. Being transparent by reporting their carbon data is also a huge step. And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't a problem that one person or one company can solve on their own. The only way to truly shrink our collective carbon footprint is by working together, with individuals and businesses all doing their part. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you can see the trail, what's one small change you'll make to start shrinking your own footprint? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.